Okay, Google, play the Sideline Hustle Podcast.
Sure, the Sideline Hustle Football Podcast. Here's where you left off.
All right, so we're back. Good to be back in the brand new Sideline Hustle headquarters.
Good to be back.
Yeah, the new podcast studio in Montclair, New Jersey. I'm here with your boy, Gary Nova.
Yes.
What's going on, everybody? This is your host, Drew Lieberman. Here's two guys, one guy who coached in the Big Ten and one guy who played in the Big Ten, talking about their experience.
From the sidelines, we gotta hustle because we gotta eat. From the sidelines, we got some goals that we still gotta reach.
Gonna be a quick little Sideline Hustle update. For those of you guys who follow us on social media, you probably saw that Gary was just named the offensive coordinator at Paramus Catholic, and I just accepted the wide receivers job at Don Bosco Prep. So now there's a little Sideline Hustle rivalry going on, which is
rivalry.
Yeah, which is gonna be
Friendly
dope.
rivalry.
For sure. So we're just gonna give you guys just kind of an update of, it's been a while since we were on a podcast together. Give you a quick update as to what we've been doing, why we took these jobs and what we expect in the future. So let's get into it, G. Talk to us about how this opportunity at Paramus Catholic came about and why you chose to become the offensive coordinator there.
So before Paramus Catholic, I was at Elmwood Park, and that was the town I grew up in. I was just helping the kids. The head coach there, Tom Mulligan, he's a great dude. Just wanted to help him out, and the only way I was going to leave there was to get an offense coordinator job in the Big North, and got offered a couple jobs as quarterback coach, but I wasn't going to leave the kids at Elmwood Park for just a quarterback coach. So Coach Whitehead, I met with him at PC when he got the job, and I know there was a lot of negative stuff being said about him, but once I met with him, he seemed like a really good dude, and he offered me the job, and it was just a great opportunity. They have a lot of talent. It's close to where I live, and the commute's not crazy, and I'm just really excited about it. It's going to be a really good opportunity for me.
And you've been there, it's been about 2 weeks, a week by now?
Yeah, about 2 weeks, and just really I barely know the kids' names on the team. I'm still trying to learn them. Still, the staff's just getting put together. We have our first staff meeting in about 2 hours today, and we're kind of just scrambling, getting the schedule together, and figuring out what we're, kind of our mission plan going forward. And it's cool. It's exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Bosco wise, I'm the head coach at Bosco. Mike Teal is one of my best friends. He's been like the closest thing I've had to an older brother. We worked together at Rutgers, and early on at Rutgers, I always was speaking out of line in meetings and stuff, and Coach Friedgen would tell me I did something wrong. I'm like, nah, Coach, I didn't do it wrong. You gave me the wrong instructions. And
the
Mike,
players respected it, though.
Yeah, the players did.
Yeah.
But Mike used to pull me in after staff. He was like, yo, will you just shut the F up or you're going to get yourself fired? And he was very good. He was looking out for me all the time. So we became close. And he wanted me to come on board last season, but I was finishing my master's up at Wesleyan. And, I really felt like I needed to see it out with those receivers. And we ended up having a lot of success up there. So that was good. But as soon as I knew I wanted to move back down to the New Jersey area, it worked out where his receivers job came open at the same time. So it ended up being perfect timing. And it was a no-brainer for me because I've always wanted to work with Mike in this capacity. I've always wanted to work in the Big North too. I've only been to 2 of these games for recruiting trips and stuff, but they've been amazing. I went to the semifinal game 2 years ago. It was Bergen Catholic and St. Peter's. And it was the crowd was sold out and it was crazy. That felt like college football.
Yeah, it's a mini college football
yeah.
atmosphere.
So I'm really excited. I'm not as familiar with the league and everything as you are, but I've been there. I've been working there for about 2 months. Officially announced it last week. I was just waiting until I finished everything at Wesleyan. Just got my master's degree, but I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be competitive. I think both of our teams are pretty underestimated right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if it's PC, like I said, a lot of people have been having backlash at the hire or whatever's, but I kind of love that stuff. Nobody's expecting anything from us. People are saying our kids are transferring and all this stuff. There's just so much talk. And, once training camp comes in the first game, I think we'll prove a lot of people wrong. So I'm excited about it.
No doubt. And it's similar with us, man. We, for anyone who knows Bosco, we got the running back, Jalen Berger, who's a 5-star kid, offered by Alabama, Ohio State, LSU, everyone. But we had 5 Division I prospects in the offensive line last year. All of them left. We have 0 starts amongst our offensive line. Coach Teal, Mike Teal, last year, he was running the offense and he was the head coach. He gave up the offense this year, which I think is going to be great for the program. So he can oversee everything and kind of be more of the figurehead and the guy who's running the program. I think it's going to be really good. So we hired an offensive coordinator, Dennis McCullough, who's been a longtime New Jersey coach, high school football coach. He was at Del Barton for a few years, was at Hofstra, and he's been doing a phenomenal job. I think he's going to bring a lot of good things, and I'm trying to bring some passion. But I think we are also very underestimated. We were 2-8 last year and lost a lot of talent, so I don't think people expect much from us. But I being there, I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen so far, and I think we'll surprise some people as well.
For sure. I remember even when I was at Bosco playing PC, you always knew they had a lot of talent. And, now I think, they've won a bunch of state championships over the past few years. And I think there's a winning culture there. And I think everybody's kind of sleeping on us with, Coach Whitehead. But I think he's going to do a great job. And he's putting together the best staff he can this late in the game. And we got some young guys. And, just from seeing the team run and lift, and we got some dudes that can play. Yeah. So I'm excited to kind of just put the offense together around the guys we got and go out there and ball.
What do you think the biggest challenge will be for you now that 2 weeks in?
I think just the youth. We got pretty much our whole team's going to be sophomores and juniors, and guys that have first-year playing experience. So I think kind of just, bringing them along with what, I want to do, what Coach Whitehead wants to do, and the direction. And then also, not trying to lose, trying to win games at the same time.
Right.
So it's trying to teach and do all this stuff and bring them along slowly, but also still win. Yeah. So I think that's going to be the biggest challenge.
It's similar for us. I think we're really young, and I think one thing we've talked about is what you just touched on a little bit is finding ways not to lose games. Like, don't beat yourself. You remember when Coach Friedgen took over at Rutgers, the first team meeting he ever had, he said, "Listen, we're going to be good because we're not going to beat ourselves." Remember, he had that 12% rule, where it's like the number of sacks, turnovers, penalties, and drop passes, those 4 mistakes divided by the number of plays in a game, if that's under 12%, you'll win every game. And he says he's never lost a game with that under 12%. And that holds true. And I think that's a big thing for us is focusing on those areas. Let's not make the mistakes that are going to beat ourselves, and then let that'll give our talent the best chance to win. And I think with a young team, that's the biggest thing. The reason why young teams lose games is because they don't have the experience. They make crucial mistakes when it counts. And I think if we can prevent that, all the other stuff will kind of take care of itself.
For sure. I think for us, something that we're, trying to do now is just the mentality of our team. X's and O's will kind of take care of themselves. Guys are going to mess up. They're young dudes. But as long as they're just playing hard and have a great mentality and tough, they'll make plays. They're talented enough where they'll make the plays. Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
So how do you feel like this? Like we've been really working a lot together since I moved here 3 months ago. Like really we're trying a little bit changing the direction of the Sideline Hustle, where I think a lot of people think it's just a podcast, and we're really trying to just make it into like an educational resource where we've been doing the teach tapes online that have been really, really good for us on Twitter and Instagram. And now we've been training kids in New Jersey and trying to offer, a different style of training where it's more football focused, not necessarily speed and agility or strength or anything like that, but we offer film study with it. Like we'll bring laptops and iPads to the fields, study film with the kids, offer them real recruiting advice based on, my experience as a coach at the D1 level, your experience playing at the D1 level, and just trying to just help as many kids as possible. And I think we're both really excited about this because it really gives us deep roots in New Jersey football, where I think that this will help us just create, a bigger movement of sideline hustle training and helping kids. So, talk to me a little bit about what your expectations are with that.
No doubt. We're just growing the brand. And I think it's kind of, funny how everything works out. Now you moved to Jersey, and then, weeks later, we start getting 1 million views or whatever on Twitter or whatever it is. It's just going to help us become better coaches. And then that's going to help us get better training to other kids, and it's the best, probably the best league in the country to be coaching in. It's just going to grow everything together.
I'm excited, man. I think we can hope to offer something a little unique, really quarterback training that is very relatable to in-game experiences. Same with the wide receiver stuff. We're working on the art of playing wide receiver, how you're going to get open, the different techniques and different situations. It's not how many times can you chop around this cone. Like, you never get dizzy while running a football route. So why are you going back and forth? Like, this is like, hey, it's an outside leverage corner playing cover 2. You're going to stretch, release them, attack as leverage, win inside, and really talking about game situations I think will help these kids so that now they can think back. Like, I know at Wesleyan I did this, and we ended up breaking every record. It helped them a lot because we would be in game and they'd be like, "Coach, he's doing this." I'd be like, "Yo, it's just like this drill we did in practice," because I try to take time to make these drills something that you're going to see in the game. And I think it's a lot of what you're doing with the quarterbacks as well.
Yeah, I think in college, something that hurt me, probably my playing career, but it helped me as a coach is having the 4 different coordinators in 4 years. But I also got to see, I have such a good perspective on, what I think works for me and what'll help a quarterback. I've probably done every quarterback drill you could possibly do, right. But a lot of the drills you can do, and you can become good at the drills, and then you get in the game and there's no carryover. Yeah. So like you said, you can do all the drills you want, but if you can't take a 5-step drop, hold the safety, and then throw that seam 18 to 22, what's the point?
Absolutely.
So a lot of the training, obviously you need to do some of the cone drills just to have, good body posture and just train muscle memory and all that stuff. But then you got to put, game situation drills. You got to throw at different arm angles, throw off balance, but then also work just throwing the 3-step slant over and over and over again, and throwing the hitch and throwing the go ball. And just doing the stuff over and over, so in the game you don't have to think about it. There's so much stuff you have to worry about, the quarterback, the defense, the play call, getting all that stuff right. You don't need to be worrying about, do I need to take 5 in a hitch here? Or
that's got to be second nature.
Exactly, it just got to happen. Yeah. So that's what I'm really trying to do with these young guys, because all they do in these camps and all this stuff is they're just worried about 5 in a hitch. They're just worried about making it look good, but no, it's not about that.
It needs to translate.
Yeah, it needs to be balanced, and you need to translate. And everybody wants to throw the ball 100 miles an hour.
Exactly.
Like everybody wants to throw a fastball. Like you need to be a thrower. You can't just be a fastball, throwing like a closer in a game.
It's similar with receiver, man. I tell these guys all the time, these young kids, like, you very, very rarely should be running a route at receiver at 100%. Like, maybe if you're running a go route, you're on your horse. Right. It doesn't. But, like you play receiver, you're playing at 88 to 94% and kind of mixing up change of speed. Like, that's how you have body control. Like, you're very rarely running a curl route. You can't sprint as fast as you can 12 yards and then turn around efficiently. Like, teaching the kids the art of wide receiver that way. And, I've been lucky enough to learn from what I think is some of the best receivers coaches in the country. Obviously, we both had an opportunity to work with Coach Friedgen, but the GOAT for sure. But Ben McDaniel's, man, Josh McDaniel's younger brother, is unbelievable at teaching the technique of receiver, and I learned everything from him. And then I was able to work for Anthony Campanelli when he was a wide receivers coach at Rutgers for a year, and his ability to connect with players, motivate players, and get them to buy into what he's preaching is really incredible. And I feel blessed that I've learned from those two guys. I've been able to take what they've taught me, create a system that's kind of my own that we proved at Wesleyan, and I'm excited to bring WRU to North Jersey, man, and try and get this thing going and help as many kids as possible.
For sure. Just trying to grow IQB, and, I kind of just was kind of hesitant on how to do something. Like, I always wanted to start my own quarterback training stuff, but didn't know how to do it. So I think it's cool that I just, came up with the name and just launched it and just figuring it out as you go. Yeah. And just trying to help as many kids as possible, because I know I didn't have that training available to me. Obviously I was in a great place at Bosco with Nunzio, Campanelli, and was learning great stuff. But if somebody would have just had, and Nunzio was also running the whole team, the whole offense, So if I would have had somebody just to focus on my feet and focus on, being balanced and teaching me how to throw and all that stuff, probably would have helped me, get a little better every day and even further my career.
So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the future, excited for this season. It's going to be, I think, fun to document each of our journeys, taking on a new job. This will be, I guess, my second real full-time wide receivers job. Would be your second full-time position job, but your first as offensive coordinator, and it's going to be a fun story.
It is. It really is. It's going to create a lot of excitement. I think when more and more people start, joining our movement and seeing, the stuff that we're, producing, I think they're going to be really, intrigued about what we got going on. And then, like you said, the little friendly rivalry is just going to help it, and it's just going to be a fun story to, keep dragging along during the season.
No doubt. So if you don't already, Gary mentioned this a little bit, but the last 28 days we've had 1.5 million impressions on Twitter. That's mostly from the Teach Save videos we've been doing. So if you haven't seen those already, check those out, man. The Teach Saves have been a really cool tool for for teaching kids the art of playing wide receiver through social media, which I think is such a powerful mechanism. On top of that, we just released our first line of Sideline Hustle t-shirts.
Go get those shirts.
Yeah, check those out. Go to the sidelinehustle.com. You'll see a huge button that says shop, and support the movement. Get yourself a t-shirt. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram. You got any feedback? If there's anything more you guys want to hear about, our jobs in the Big North and what to expect, we'll answer all those. And we're just trying to build this engagement back up and get the podcast rolling. Episode 19, which will be the first episode of season 2 of the Sideline Hustle podcast. That's coming out soon. That's going to cover all the off-season stuff from going to pro day, preparing for the draft, training after the draft, OTAs, and also all summer recruiting and all that stuff. So kind of get you guys up to speed as to what the profession's been up to from the end of the season till now, and then we'll keep rolling with it. Good to be back, man. Good to be back. We got to hustle because we got to eat.